In this video, we'll have a look to visualize some data in a graph in Grafana. Now, in a graph, you can visualize numeric data or Boolean data. For string data, other visualizations will be better. We have a graph panel here. We can edit it by going into the edit mode. And you'll see that as a visualization, we will have selected the time series visualization here. Next to the query options, you will also have a bit more options here on the right that are more to do with what your panel looks like. So we'll start off with the title. Also have the tooltip if you have multiple measurements in there. Let's set that up. Then you'll have a overview, and for now there will be only one measurement listed in the tooltip. If you do all, then all of them will have a value listed here. Next up is the legend. So you'll be able to control whether this one is visible or not, and where it's listed. So it can be a table mode. It can be added on the right here. And you can also choose to show certain values. So for example, if you want to show the last value for each of these, that's possible as well in the legend. The options with the star here are excluding null values, so empty values, which is possible. All right, next to that, we can control a bit what is on the axis here. There's a bunch of options there. Most interesting, I think, are the soft, min, and max. So say that your data is, for example, always between 1 and 3, but in this specific time range, it's only between 1.8 and 2.2. You can show the data always between 1 and 3 by setting these soft min and soft max. And if the data does exceed one of these, then the graph will grow with them. So if I set this, for example, to 2, then the graph will still go up to 2.2 to show all of the data. All right. Graph style is also something you can choose. So if you zoom in enough, you'll see that this is not a very smooth graph. You can make that interpolate a bit more, or do a step graph, step before the point or step after the change. So that's kind of the options that you have. Also, style of the line, whether or not to connect an empty value in between. So that's kind of a bunch of options you have there as well. Let's zoom out a bit again. And then some other options which are present for most visualizations, not only for time series, are the units, which is already filled in here, but I could override that here. So if I say, okay, this value is actually not a CMS unit, but for example, a meter, then I can pick here between all of the units that have meter in their name. And yeah, for these ones, it will be overridden already in the background. But if I would add a measurement that doesn't have a unit yet, then it will get this meter unit. Also, there is the absolute minimum and maximum. So before we had soft min and soft max, which allowed the panel to adapt. If I want to say, okay, I want to actually cut off everything above 2, that's possible as well. And then those data points do not get shown. You can also, in the tooltip, you'll see that there is now 2 decimals. So you can change that. You can change it to 1 decimal, for example, or more if you want to see more decimals, if they're available. So that's all possible. can change a bit the colors that are used for the different measurements. And then some, linking thresholds and so on. Those are more advanced settings. Right, that's it for the graph visualization or time series visualization.